So initially, this video was just going to be about the entire State of Play livestream, but honestly, I think what I'm going with now will suffice. Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games of all time, has officially been given a sequel called Ghost of Yotei. And oh me, oh my, the game looks really good. It looks like it'll be taking the same gameplay from the original Ghost of Tsushima and adding onto it, with all new enemies, allies, and a f***ing gun. And the protagonist? Well, unfortunately, Jin Sakai isn't going to be a returning protagonist as this game takes place over 300 years after his supposed death. Instead, we'll have a new protagonist named Astu, or at least I hope that's how you pronounce it. I'll admit that I'm a little upset that Jin Sakai won't be a returning protagonist, but ultimately, I think his story has already been told, and going with an anthology for a sequel was probably the better choice. Plus, it allows you to explore new tales without being constantly shackled to what came before it in the previous games. It's kinda like the route that the Final Fantasy games take. But with Ghost of Yotei being announced, I think things are finally looking up for us Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I guess I should have seen this coming. As it turns out, people can't really seem to handle a female protagonist in a game. So with the stellar reveal of Ghost of Yotei, people took to Twitter and YouTube to call this game woke DEI garbage, before the game even comes out. Today, I wanted to talk about their complaints and just how wrong they actually are. So without prodding on too much, let's get into things. Now you might be asking, what exactly do they have in their defense? Well, their defense is to claim that this new female protagonist will completely shit on Jin Sakai's character and the legacy of the ghost. Which is odd, considering, well, we have no idea what the story is like. The game trailer just came out, and we know almost nothing about the story other than when and where it takes place and the protagonist's name. We don't know what her story is, nor do we know if it actually will shit on the legacy of Jin Sakai. All we know is that the ghost has become something of a mythos, and our new protagonist Astu will take up the mythos. What she does with it is still unknown, so you can't really claim that she'll just shit on the legacy of Jin Sakai and or shit on him himself, since, again, you don't know what the story is like. She could just be one of the many different people who have taken the mantle of the ghost throughout the 300 years of it being a thing. Or maybe she's even a direct descendant of Jin Sakai himself, and she's now taken the role of ghost to honor her great-great-grandfather's legacy. But the thing is that we won't know that until more information about the game comes out. You can't claim that she's gonna shit on the legacy of Jin Sakai if you don't even know what she does with that legacy in the game. Another point that I saw brought up was that Astu should not be the protagonist because there were hardly any, if any at all, female samurai. But the thing is that we don't exactly know how many female samurai there were. Some Battlefield fossils suggest that there could have been women on the front lines, but that has yet to be solidly proven. But even if it isn't true, and there were no female samurai throughout history, who cares? This game is historical fiction. Yes, historical is one part of that genre, but so is fiction. Yes, Ghost of Yotei takes place in a historical time period, the beginning of the Tokugawa shogunate's rule over Japan in the Edo period in 1603. That is the historical part. The rest will be up to the game maker's imagination, because this is a video game, because this is historical fiction. Not all of it has to be historically accurate. Not even the original Ghost of Tsushima game was 100% historically accurate. While yes, it also takes place during a historical time period, and the Sakai clan was a real clan in Japan, Jin Sakai, as a person, never existed. Hell, if you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of things, technically the game's weapons that it uses aren't very historically accurate either, because the samurai during this time used bows and arrows on horseback, and not swords or some armor seen in the game. But obviously, we're able to look past that because it makes the game cool and fun to play. So why can't the same be said about Ghost of Yotei? Hell, if you really want to get technical, Ghost of Tsushima has a female samurai, Lady Masako. So why didn't you get mad at that at the time, but you're mad about this now? And finally, one thing that they seem to bring up the most to say that Ghost of Yotei is woke is that the main character's voice actor is woke. And the thing is that I couldn't really find any solid evidence for that. I tried looking through her Twitter page to see if I could find something, and the only things that I found that could be considered woke is the fact that she uses pronouns and she retweeted someone's announcement for a live stream to raise funds for Kamala Harris. So what's the problem exactly? I mean, yeah, this would be considered woke by their standards, but the fact is that it's not exactly harmful. One of these things she didn't have any involvement in, and the other is just stating what pronouns she uses. But even if you don't agree with what she's saying, what exactly is the harm done to Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotei here? What does this have to do with any of those two games? Yeah, voice actors will say and do shit that not everybody agrees with, but at the end of the day, they're just one person, and they don't have a creative say on how the game will be made and how the story will be told. They're just there to read lines for a character. They don't have any impact on the story. You see, what they're doing is grasping at any straws they can find to write off this game because either they're salty that Jin Sakai isn't a returning protagonist, or they seriously can't handle a woman being a protagonist of a game they like. Grow up, guys, you'll manage. If we see more information about this game and it looks bad, then by all means go nuts, but we haven't seen nearly enough of Ghost of Yotei for any of the claims that you're making to be substantial in any way. So just calm down and wait for more information. But what do you guys think of Ghost of Yotei? Do you agree with what I said, or do you think that maybe some of the people mentioned in this video have a point? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But with that, I'll see you next time, and until then, stay safe and take care.